Oh yes, John Hayes.
Skegness constituency, and the only thing I have to say today is thank you to the Prime Minister for coming. I've been nabbing successive Prime Ministers to come to this constituency. It was third time lucky. Thank you so much. With that, Boris Johnson.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here. And I want to say thank you particularly to my friend Mr. Matt Hancock, the Health Secretary, because together he and I, we've just been to the. Can you hear me at the back? We've just been to the wonderful Pilgrims Hospital in Boston, and we've announced a £21 million package to support all sorts of operations, all sorts of procedures in the A&E, all sorts of things that we're going to do. But I have one extra revolutionary new medical procedure that I want to recommend to our European friends and partners, and that is the backstop-ectomy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we need. That's what we need. That's what this country needs, because above all, what we want to do is we want to come out of the European Union on October the 31st. Yeah. And we're going to do it. And we're going to do it by getting rid of the defects in the current withdrawal agreement, do or die. We absolutely are going to do it. Now, of course, they may not agree, and it may be that they continue to say, rien ne va plus, and they won't change a word of it. They won't agree to the revolutionary new procedure that I've advocated. If so, you know what we do, don't you? You know what we do. We leave, yes, of course we leave. But in the run-up to that, in the run-up to our departure, we of course get ready to come out on WTO terms on no deal, if we absolutely have to. I don't think it's going to happen, but if we absolutely have to. Are we ready to do that? Yes. Yes. Are we confident in Boston and Skegness? Are we confident? Of course we can do it. It's a great, great country, and I've just been talking with Matt all morning about the preparations that the NHS, just amongst one of many institutions, the NHS is going to be ready, the ships are going to be ready, the ports are going to be ready, the business community is going to be ready, the farms are going to be ready, everybody is going to be ready to do the needful on October the 31st. But we're not going to wait, my friends, until October the 31st to get on with the business of this great new Conservative government. What we're going to get on is do wonderful things to unite our country. And I'll give you three ways. Number one, we're going to obviously spending money on health, which is, I think, will be very important. And there's an extra 1.8 billion that we've announced today. But we're also going to be spending more on education, levelling up education funding around the country so that kids get the same, a minimum of 4,000 per primary. I'm glad for that ripple of applause. 5,000 for secondary. Absolutely right, because the gap has grown too big, hasn't it? I believe that talent across this country is distributed uniformly. Opportunity is not always distributed uniformly. We Conservatives believe in giving everybody the same opportunities, don't we? That's what we're going to do with our education funding, with infrastructure funding, better roads for this area in the Lincoln bypass. The Boston bypass. The Boston bypass. I forgot. Caroline, what was it you wanted? Anyway, I've made enormous commitments on roads in the course of the recent campaign, as you can imagine. But I'll give you one further example of an improvement we need to make to our country that is so obvious, so crying out to be done, that would lift opportunity around the country, and that is full fibre broadband. Yes! Well, yes. Is it? Hands up, anybody who has difficulty getting a... Look, listen, this is the greatest country in the world, if not... we have fantastic... We helped to invent the internet. Didn't we? I think we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. We pioneered it. How utterly disgraceful that in remote pueblos in Andalusia, they have a far better broadband signal than we have in the UK. And we can do it. We're going to accelerate our timetable. We're going to bring forward full fibre broadband sprouting through every home, like, I don't know what to do, fettuccine or something. Every home. Well, I don't know what it looks like, but it's going to be. And we're going to accelerate the timetable by 8 years to 2025 at the absolute outside for every household in this country. And what that will do is it not only gives everybody the chance to pay their bills over the internet on time, to look at holidays on. Fill in their BPS, all that sort of stuff. It also gives businesses the confidence to invest in an area knowing that it is going to have that basic feature of the modern economy, which is first first-rate communications over the web. So that's what we're going to provide, and we're going to do this. How are we going to pay for all these improvements to our society? Well, you may well ask. Well, I'll tell you how. We're going to pay for it in the normal way by running a fantastic, strong, dynamic, free market economy.
Yes.
And by supporting business. And where necessary, by cutting business taxes, by stimulating growth, by stimulating high-class jobs. We want a high-wage, low-tax economy. That's what we want. And there's another gentleman I can mention, and a group of people I can mention, who don't believe in that philosophy at all. You know who they are? Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party, who want to raise taxes. They want to raise taxes on inheritance, on pensions, on business, on corporation tax of the highest in Europe. Income tax up to 50p in the pound. He wants to put up a tax on, not just on homes, but on gardens. I don't know, but on gardens. That's right. I told the people of Sevenoaks that he wanted to put up a tax on gardens. They'd have to change their name to Three Oaks if they were to cope with Corbyn's agenda. And it's far worse than that. This is a guy who has absolutely no understanding of this country or its place in the world. He backs Hamas. He backs Hezbollah. He backs the IRA. He wants a united Ireland. He wants to divide our country from Scotland. This is a guy whose agenda would be absolutely diabolical for Britain at home and abroad. We're not going to let him win anywhere near Downing Street, are we? No. Absolutely not. And one thing we're going to do, by the way, just pops into my head, I'm delighted that Matt is now the technology minister, apart from everything else, and broadband is... Sorry. So I hope what I was saying was on message, Matt.
Absolutely.
It was.
It is now.
Matt is going to deliver it, but I can tell you, we are talking to Matt on. We are going to turbocharge investment in R&D and science of all kinds, including, by the way, a space program. And you may think, and we need to have it in this country. It is a fantastic investment for our society. We need geostationary satellites. We need to have a UK capacity in this area. We've neglected it for too long, and we will do it. And I tell you what, I think I have a candidate for the first man that we will send blasted into space. You know who he is. He wears a vest. He has an allotment. He lives in Islington. He believes in Karl Marx. Let's send him into space, and let's get ready. Let's come out on October the 31st. Let's come out on October the 31st. We'll send him too. We'll come out on October the 31st and then get ready to put Corbyn and the rest of the hard London Labour left into orbit where they belong. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.